So data types tells the interpreter what kind of data we are working with and how we can interact with it. So there are some data types that is that are inbuilt in, like integers and float for a number. Okay. After that, there is a string for textual data and boolean for a true false value. So, and also there are some complex data types available in Python, which is nothing but list, dictionary, sets, and tuple. Okay. So let's talk about integer. So integer is nothing but a whole number. Okay. And there is a float in a numerical, okay, where there is a decimal point which is considered as a float. Okay, so a is equal to b, a is equal to 12. Here 12 is the number and a is a variable. Okay, I am assigning 12 means some value to a. So if I print the type of a, okay, it will be a integer, int. So type is the function which is inbuilt in Python. So here, like it is going to connecting to the kernel because it is a IPNB file. So like a variable in Python is a name that is used to refer a memory, okay, to location that holds the data, and a variable acts as a container for storing data value. So in our case, I have stored this 12, okay, assigned to this a is nothing but a variable, and it is acts like a container. So we just assign it with 12, and 12 is a type of integer. Okay, so uh, so there are some rules we have in like to define the variables. Okay, like whenever we just creating variable in every programming language, there are different kinds of rules are there. Okay, so that we will going to see. So if there is a whole number, it is the data type of it is nothing but an integer. And if there is a floating point, let's say b, the another variable, okay, I am assigning some value to its, okay. So if I print b, print is the function which is used to print anything in Python. Okay, so over here you can see 3.14 got printed. If I, okay, if I use type function, which is going to give us type of that variable, what kind of data stored into the particular variable. So in our case, D is the variable. Here you can see float got printed. Okay, so we going to see some rules to declaring the variables. So variable always start with letter or an underscore. Okay, so whenever I am creating variable, I can create like this. Let's say where, okay, is equal to 10. So it is applicable because it is start with a letter, or I can use underscore where is equal to 20, like this. Okay, so both are applicable. Okay, but if you start any variable with a special character or a number, that is not applicable. Let's say 2 var, okay, is equal to 30. If I write this, you can see there is a syntax error, invalid decimal literals. Okay, so like whenever there is a syntax error you got, definitely it is because of whatever the line you have written. Okay, it is not applicable, or it is not acceptable by Python interpreter because of the rules. Okay, so this is the first rule. Then variable can contains like include some letters, number, or underscore. So let's say I wanted to create a variable one, variable two, like this. Var one is equal to let's say I am just going to write the string. Means like, as I said, string is used to write the textual data, okay, or the text data. So over here, uh, variable one is nothing but version, okay, and var two is nothing but stellar. So like this, we can like this we can create a variable, okay, and also like let's say first name, instead of var one, var two, I can write like this: first underscore name. This is applicable, okay, and last name. This is also applicable, but I cannot give the space in between the variable name, okay, and I can also write one, two after any uh, after any letter, okay. So that is applicable. And also variable cannot contains the space, okay. So here, let's say first and name is equal to uh, version, okay. If I create a variable like this, it is not acceptable in Python because of space is used for a indentation in Python, okay. So that is the reason. So instead of like underscore, here instead of space we can use underscore or camel letter sign, okay. Let's say I can directly write like this: in capital, first name is equal to Darshan, or like this, first and underscore, then name, okay. That is applicable. If I print first name, it will going to print, okay. So like this. And Python is case sensitive language, okay. So case sensitive means, like, if you create a variable like var is equal to 3 and var is equal to 5, okay. So like, one is in lowercase and another is in uppercase, so both going to locate to the different memory location, okay. So it is nothing but a like, if I print var, okay, here you can see, and print var, okay, both are different things, not same because of the case sensitive nature, okay. After that, avoid reverse word, okay. So like, sorry, we need to avoid some reserve word, okay. So in Python there are some reserve words like this: if, okay, if is the reserved word which is used for a conditional statement. I cannot like, I need to avoid to assign any value or any data to a reserved word. If I do this, here you can see syntax errors given because of if have its own meaning. Okay, whenever Python developers created the Python program or Python like programming language, that time they just taken some keywords for a specific task, okay. And like, if is there, for is there, okay. So we cannot use those keyword to create a variable. And also, whenever you just creating the variable name, you just give the like descriptive names. So over here, if I write x is equal to Darshan, okay, y is equal to Stellar, okay. So here, if you read this code, there is no any means the variable name is not going to describe this value. Okay, whatever we have stored into it. But if you see the this one line or this one cell, you can easily understand there is a first name we have stored, and after that there is a last name. Okay, so whenever you just like creating any variable, you need to give the descriptive variable name. Okay, and like that you can means you can declare some variables. Okay, so here I'm just going to delete these things. So as I said, there are some data types in Python. So for numbers, there is a int and integer, sorry, integer we can say, and float. Okay, for a for a text, there is string. Okay, for a true false or boolean value, there is true or false. Okay, and some advanced data structures available, which is nothing but list. Okay, dictionary is there, dictionary. Okay, set, tuple. So these are data types available in Python. We will going to see one by one. Okay. So I think you understand how we can create a variable, which kind of things we need to consider whenever we creating the variables. So here, so let's say I just I like I'm just creating two variable a and b. Okay, so I can write a is equal to, let's say I wanted to uh, add like I wanted to assign some numbers numerical value, or say the integer. So I can write a is equal to that particular value, let's say 10. Okay, and b is equal to, so let's say 3.14 for float value. Okay, if I wanted to add or if I wanted to create a string, that time, or like that time, I can write whatever the set of character, okay, which is in the code. Okay, so over here, as I created above, like first name. Okay, first name, and then Darshan, like this. Okay, it is nothing but a string, and first one is nothing but a integer, second one float. So whatever you just going to write after the hash, it is considered the comment in Python. Okay, so comment is the code which is you writing for like describing the code. Okay, that's it. So that is the use of comment in in a any program. Okay, and let's say if you just creating any algorithm, that time you like some block of code you wanted to check, because of that there is any errors. Okay, So you just going to comment that code and running whole code. Okay, like this also you can do for a debugging purposes. Okay, so after this, like is rain, I can write true, which is nothing for a boolean. Okay, like this I can create a variable. So like if we talk about other languages like C, C++, okay, so those language need to know which kind of data you're just going to store in a particular variable. But in Python, there is nothing like that. Okay. So if let's consider we writing the code in a C language, that time we need to write like that. A is nothing but a int. Okay. And after that, you can add some value into A. Okay, but in Python there is nothing like this. Okay, you need to write the whatever the things you need to write, it will going to consider it, the particular data types, like the type of data is it. Okay, so over here 12 is a numerical, so it will going to like if I print A, it will going to give us a integer. Why? Because of Python, like in Python, there is no need to call a variable explicitly. Okay, so over here, type of A, it will going to print integer. Okay, so if I write any number into double quote, so it will going to consider it is a type of string. Why? Because of it is in a double quote. As I said in Python, whatever you write in a single quote or a double quote, it will going to consider it as a string. Okay. So here, if I print this, you can see string got print. If I remove this, uh, from both end, I need to remove. If I run this, you can see now it is integer. Okay. So like that, you can create a variables and data types. So after that, there is a Boolean data type. Okay. So is rain. If I print is rain, it will going to print the type, like what the value it contains. Okay. If I print the type of is rain variable, so it will going to print full, full for Boolean, int for integer. Okay. So if there is a float value over here, you can see b contains the float value. If I write over here b, so it will going to print. I think I have assigned some value to b, so that's why. Okay, it is going to print the last value that you have assigned to the variable. So over here, I am creating b variable once again, and you can see float got printed. So like that, you can assign some like that you can assign some data to a variable. Okay, is equal to sign is used to assign the value. So let's see some advanced data structure. So let's see list, which is most important to one data types. Whenever you just creating algorithm, that time most of the time you going to use the list. Okay, so the list is used to store the set of like set of element, or we can say the list of element into a particular variable. So I can create a list like that. A is equal to square bracket. Okay, in Python, if you use square bracket like this and assigning to its particular variable, it is going to consider as a list. Okay, if I print A, it will going to give like, sorry, I need to see the type of A. Okay, so you can see list got printed. So as I said, list is used to uh, like list is used to store the list of element. Okay, or we can say the set of element like this. So I am just going to store some element or some data types into it, 12, 13. Okay, and let's say uh, okay, 12 version 2, like this value I can store into the list. Okay, so if I print A, it will going to print the value that is present in a list. So like this we can create a list, and some values in a list we can like we can use print function to print a value as well. Okay, so like this, here you can see 12 version 2 got printed. So any so Ratnam, I think you have any doubt, you can ask. So whatever doubt you have, you just message. Okay, just stop message. We will going to see that. So in Python, like when we creating code, uh, most of the time we need to use means like whenever we creating any algorithm, that time we need to use some data structures. Okay, so Python have inbuilt, as I said, list, tuple, dictionary, and uh, set is there. Okay, which is used to create a like algorithm. Let's say you have creating any code, so that time you need to store some data into it. So that time you can use list. Okay, so list is a mutable, so you can remove, okay, add some value into it. So that we will going to see like in like we will going to see that in a deep. Okay, so let's say I wanted to add some value into the list. That time I can use append function. Okay, every data types have its some functions, like string have let's say I wanted to split string from like I wanted to split a string. That time I can use split function like that. It is providing some functionalities that is used whenever you just creating the program. Okay, so let's like if I wanted to add some element, okay, in a list, I can use append function. So there is a function append that I can use. So over here, I have created one list, which is nothing but a. Okay, let's add something into it. Okay, I can use like a dot append, and into it I can add a new value. So let's say I am just going to add a string. Okay, so I can create a string like that. Uh, Last name is equal to scalar. Okay, and that I can add a dot append last name. Okay, now this append method going to add this last name into a. If I print A, now you can see there is shell or got append at the last. Okay, whatever the value you just going to append, that append at the last, like at the last. Okay, and also string going to store the index value of each data you have added into the list. Okay, and in Python indexing start with 0. There is two kinds of indexing in Python: positive index, okay, positive indexing, and negative indexing. So here in Python, indexing start with 0. So it means that whatever the first value you have in the list, which is having the index value as a 0. Okay, then 1, 2, and like that. Okay, it is nothing but a positive index, and negative index is nothing but Python have two ways indexing. Okay, left to right and right to left. Okay, so in positive index it acts like left to right. Okay, and always it is start with 0. And negative index, the last value consider as a -1, then -2, -3, -4, like this. Okay, so over here I need to let things, I need to print darshan value. Okay, and because of this list, here I can see that darshan is at second position. Okay, so if I count the index value of darshan, it will be 0 and then 1. It will be 1 because of indexing start with the 0. So over here I can print a, and square bracket, into that I can write the index value. Okay, so here if I print this, it will going to print darshan. If I wanted to print 12, I need to give over here 0. Okay, so whenever in you just printing some value or some element from iterator, or let's say from a list. Okay, you can use the square bracket. Okay, for printing those indexed value. So over here if I give a square bracket 0, it will going to give 12. Okay, and as I said, there is a minus, like negative indexing also available. So I can I can print the value like this. Okay, so if I give -1, it will going to print shell r. Okay, so like this. So, and the second last element, if I need to print, then I can write a, then -2. Okay, it will going to print the second last value. Okay, so indexing works like this. Okay, so in Python, in a string, list, okay, everywhere indexing start with 0. And there is two-way indexing available in Python. So many languages have only one way. Okay, that is nothing but positive index. And the first value, like some programming language start with 1, some 0. Okay, so after this, if I wanted to let's see some arithmetic operations on numerical values. Okay, and we will going to see the list in depth after that. Okay, so uh, So arithmetic operation is nothing but we just going to plus, minus, dividing and multiplication, and that we can only do with the numerical data. Okay, so over here the plus sign is used to do addition. Okay, after that the minus sign is used to subtraction. Then there is for multiplication, star is there. Okay, and for division we use this sign. So let's create two variable, var1 or val1, value1. Okay, value1 we have 20 and val2 we have 30. Okay, so if I wanted to do addition of these two values, I can do it like this, like val1 plus val2. Okay, and I can store this result into another variable. So here I am just doing addition, so I can give the variable name like this, addition. Okay, so and if I print addition, it will going to print the result. Okay, so here you can see 50 got printed. So similarly I can do subtraction as 12 minus 12 and I can print it. So here you can see minus 10 got printed because of 20 is less than 30. So that's why. Okay. So if you wanted to absolute value, that time there is a inbuilt function called ABS that also you can use like this, ABS. Okay. For absolute value, if I print this, it will give the absolute value. Okay. Then for multiplication, mult is equal to val1 into val2. Okay, and we can print multiplication like this. So like that you can do some arithmetic operations on data. Okay, so if you have the floating point and the numerical like the integer point, then also you can do the these operation because of both are a numerical value. Okay, so here you can see the result, but you cannot do that with a like string value because of the nature of the data that we all know. Okay, if I do that, it will going to give us a type error. Okay, so whenever there is a data like different kind of data, like here I am just going to adding the string value with the integer one, so that's why the type error I got. Okay, so here you can see unsupported operand types for plus, integer and str. Okay, so if I do this, it will going to give us error because of the type of value is a string. Okay, so plus sign also like whenever there is a two string value, if you wanted to concatenate those two, that time you can use the plus operator. Okay, so over here for a string, the plus operator is used to concatenate two string. Okay, so here let's say first name, I have two variable. sorry, f name, okay, Darshan, and L name is Patel. Okay, so if I wanted to concatenate both, okay, for full name, I can do f name, okay, plus L name. So it will going to concatenate both. Okay, so print full name, and whenever you use IPyNB file, that time you no need to like write a print to the last variable. You can directly write a variable name. It will going to print the result. Okay, so here you can see Darshan Patel got printed, but we need to, let's say we need to space over there. So what we can do, we can create a empty, or like we can create a empty string over here. Okay, so here, I can create empty string. Okay, if I print this, you can see there is a space, and this space also having its means some consider as a some value. Okay, so let's see. So over here you can see I have created full name based on f name, like first name and the last name, and the space in between them. Okay, so if I have a string, okay, so I'm just creating one variable. I'm just taking var1, var2, okay, because I'm just explaining you. So that's why. Okay, if atgc atgc, okay, this is the string. If I print, if I wanted to print the length of that string, so I can use inbuilt function that is len. Okay, and I can pass the variable name to it, so it will give the len. So here you can see len var, like val1 object of type integer. Okay, here I need to write a var instead of val, because of value one containing the integer value, and integer का कोई name नहीं होता. That's why. Okay. So if I print this, you can see 8 got printed. If you count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 values are there. If there is a space, okay, at start, you can like, let's print the length. Now you can see it is 9, because this one space also consider as a some value. Okay, so if I add two space, it will consider this also means at this position also we having the like some like it is considered as a value. Okay, so as I said, in a string also, like indexing is similar as a we have seen in a list. So let's see. So here, if I wanted to print the value, or the word which is at the start, okay, zeroth position. So like as I said, in Python, indexing start with 0. Okay, if I wanted to print the first letter, okay, so I can write var1, then square bracket and 0. It will going to print the first letter. For last letter, okay, I can use -1, and let's say I wanted to print the second one. So because of indexing starting with 0, I need to give 1 for a second letter. Okay, so and let's okay, so if I wanted to print 0 means first two, means first 3, then I can do like 0 colon up to 3, so it will going to print first 3. Okay, so this colon is used to like up to what we are, up to which index position we wanted to print the index, sorry, print the string. So over here atg got printed, and this I also can assign to any variable as well. So let's create a var2 and print this. So if I print var2, it will going to print atg. Okay, so like this we can do slicing. So okay, so if I don't give 0 over there, Python automatically consider the means the starting point up to this 3. Okay, so it will print similar result. So like this we can do. And if I wanted to exactly reverse the given string, so I can use colon 2 times. Okay, so reverse rev variable I have created, and I wanted to var 1 exactly a reverse, so I can do like this. Okay, so if I print var, it will going to print a uh, sorry, instead of where I need to print reverse because I have stored the result into the rev variable. Okay, so here you can see the last got at the first like this. Okay, so in another programming languages, if you wanted to reverse the exact whatever the string you have, okay, that time you need to write the like minimum 3 to 4 lines of code you need to write. Okay, but that things you can do within 1 line in a Python. Okay, that is the beauty of Python. Like whatever lots of things are you can do within the 1 line. So like this. So let's see some logical operators in Python. Okay, we have seen like arithmetic operator. Operators is the important parts of in a Python. Okay, so there is a and, or, not. These are the logical operators. Okay, so and is used to return a true if both operands are true. Okay, so it is used in a condition where the multiple criteria must be met. Okay, so here a is equal to, so let's create two values. A is equal to 13, b is equal to 22, sorry, 23 and 22. So if I do a is equal to b, okay, so this is this like this operator is equal to is used to check whether the given value is similar or not. Okay, so if I do this, you can see false got printed because both the values is not similar. Okay, this is the comparison operator. Okay, let's see both are the both values as a 22 22. print it, then you can see it is true because of 22 is exactly equal to the 22. Okay, so like this. So, like we just going to see some logical operators. So there is, as I said, there is a and. Okay. After that, there is a or and not. Okay. These are operators we have in a logical operator. Okay. So that we means basically use whenever we just creating the conditional statement to check whether like satisfying the multiple conditions are true or not. Okay, so and like and is used whenever we wanted to satisfy both the condition. Okay, and wanted to print the code, that time we use and or like if there is a any one true value, if you wanted to proceed, that time we can use the or operator, and not is used to do the like exactly opposite to the whatever the result is. Okay, so let's create two logical operator. A is equal to true, B is equal to true. Okay, so A and B. Okay, if I write this, it will going to give us a true or false value. So in our case, both is true, then only and like whatever the result of and operators, it will give us a true. Okay, so over here, if second condition going to false, in that case it will going to write a false. Okay, if both are false, also the false. Okay, so like this, whenever both condition will be satisfied, it means that both condition will be true, that time only and will going to give the true value. Okay, and or whenever like whatever the condition we have, let's say we have these both conditions, A and B. Okay, both of them, any one will be true, that then it will going to return a true value. Okay, so over here, if I write A or B, it will going to give true because of both are true. If there is a false in a B, okay, the second condition will be false. Let's consider, and then like and is going to print the false because of it requires both are true, but in our case it will going to print true until both will be false. Okay, means now here you can see or also giving us a exactly like false result because of both are false. Okay, and not we can use like this. Okay, so not A, it will going to print exactly opposite of A. So if we like A we having false value into it. So if I use not, it will be considering it as a true. Okay. So like this, we can use uh, the like logical operator. Let's take one example, so it will be more easy to you to understand the operators. Okay. So here, so I'm just using if else condition. Okay, conditional statement that we will going to see. Okay, so over here, if let's create two variable first. A is equal to uh, 20, B is equal to 21. Okay. So I am just going to create a, like, let's see conditional statement as well. Okay. And we will going to means whenever there is a session on conditional statement, that time we will going to see some example, more example on it. Okay. So over here, if like conditional statement is used to change flow of uh, the flow of code. Okay, based on the condition arises during the like during the processing data, or that is depend on the exactly what kind of data or what kind of data is there in a variable. Okay, so let's say we have a two variables, a and b. A having a 20, B have 21. Okay, so here I am just going to check whether A and B is similar or not. Okay, so for that, so there is a comparison operator. I think that we have need to see first. Okay, let's see the comparison operator. Then we will going to see if and else statement. Okay, so greater than sign is used to check the left hand side is greater than the right hand side. Okay, so if I write B greater than A, so is it true? Yes, it is. So it will going to print true. Okay, and then less than sign. So less than sign is used to check whether, like this. Let's say B less than A. Yes, is it? So like, okay, so this sign is going to consider the right hand side is greater than B. But if you see, B is 21 and A is 20, so 20 is not greater than B. So that's why it uh, gives us the false. Okay, so over here also is equal to operator that we have seen, A is equal to B. No, because both are similar. This is used to exactly similar. Okay, and so like this we can use the like conditional operators whenever we just uh, like developing or creating some algorithm. Okay, so let's see, A is equal to 20 and B also is equal to 20. Okay, if I write A exactly equal to B, so it will going to print true or false. But in our case, both are equal, so it will going to print true. Okay, so these, like whenever we creating some algorithm, that time we use these operators. Okay, so that is the use of operators.